This is my instrument, and I already played piano when I was a little kid, but then it came time to pick a band instrument, so there was a night when we all went with our parents, and they opened up all the cases, and as soon as they opened this one, it was like, oh, that's what I want to play. So this is what I chose, and I still love it. So it is called the French horn, but it's not from France. Does anyone happen to know where it might come from? It was originally Bohemian, and it was only because the British because suddenly it became very popular to have pairs of these in the courts all over Europe. So the English saw these in France, and so naturally they said they're French horns, and that's how we got the name. But as a pro, we like to just call them horns. Actually, why do we call them horns? Do you know? Does anyone know why we call them horns?
Because it has a horn on it.
Yeah, it kind of is horn shaped. So I'm knocking over your things. And what might be another thing why we call them horns? I'm going to pick on somebody else. Does someone else know why we call these horns? Because they originally were animal horns. They really did come off the sheep and the cows, and they come curled in all sorts of different things. If you see, I belong to a Horns in Nature group on Facebook, and there's always pictures of these sheep with these giant horns and stuff, and it's like, yes, okay. So anyway, they were used in France also then a little later on for hunting, and they didn't have all these extra valves in the middle. It was just a circle, and they put it over their shoulder and rode the horse. And that's part of the reason why the bell of the French horn faces backwards. Because if you're riding a horse, you want to tell the people behind you where you are and where they should be going. So that's how that happened. So that's called a natural horn, when you just play the notes that happen to be on it. So that's where that came from. And then somebody got smart and said, well, as long as it's facing backwards, what would happen if we used our hand in it? Because you only have so many notes. I'd like to have some more notes. Oh man, suddenly you got the whole scale. And that was in Mozart's time. And so he started writing for more notes. And then finally, of course, they got all smart with valves, and now we can play all the notes. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so that's the French horn, and like Sandra said, it is kind of the alto of the orchestra, and I happen to be an alto myself, so we match up. Does anyone have any questions for the French horn?